Hi, it's Ed from Throat Punch Games, and time for another unboxing. Today we have Crusaders, Thy Will Be Done, from Tasty Minstrel Games. Let's open this bad boy up. This is the awesome edition. The Deluxeified edition. Fancy slipcase. That's got a lot of stuff in here. Solid box, makes me happy. So what's in here? There's the rule book. Rule book, not too bad. Got a lot of pictures in there, makes it easier to read. I like that. A little bit of history. I like history. Recessed player boards for the Fancy Deluxe Edition. All the things would I not have? Not much. Advertisement from them. Tasty Minstrel stickers. Okay, what else we got? Chunky cardboard makes me happy though. For each of the different players, the different tiles. The board itself is gorgeous. Two-sided for 2 to 4 players. And here's where the deluxe stuff comes out. Bags. Other bags, because you love me. They have, if you get the deluxe version, you get pressure molded plastic. Little banks. Castles. Little dudes on the map. Where are my churches? Churches. All the cool stuff you get set up in the game. In addition, though, not only do they give you that, they give you wooden meeples of all the same things. And they're screen printed. So you get the cool stickers, but you also get screen printing on them, which makes me happy. So this is a Rondell game, so you get the little Rondell meeples. Fancy gold shiny. Have your dudes, for dudes on a map. The wooden banks. Oh, I didn't bring up the barns. Because you can actually grow up barns for getting people. And the churches. In addition, in the fancy version, the greatest first player marker ever. Stab somebody with this thing. I can go in front. You get these solid metal tokens for victory points. And they come in 1s, 5s, and 10s. There is a lot in this game, and it makes me really happy. Baggies. I love the fact there's baggies, even though they give me baggies. Beautiful. Crusaders, Thy Will Be Done by Tasty Minstrel Games. This is going to be fun to get to the table. Okay, we've got it to the table. We've got it set up. Let's dig into this beast. It's actually less complicated than it looks. Setup is pretty easy. You're going to randomize these, put them out in all the squares. There's a bag for all of these enemy tokens. Randomize them, put them on any space that has a flag. And then you will choose your knight. Starting in reverse player order, you'll choose one of the many different Templars. It'll tell you how many tokens or action tokens you get, and you fill up your spaces with either the awesome deluxe or the regular ones, which is still pretty awesome. These start face down, everything starts covered. All right. In reverse player order, you will place your people on spaces with horses. And then we start our turns. And this is where the simplicity of the game starts off. You will select one of these wedges and move all the tokens from that wedge to a different wedge. So if I want to muster, I'd move these two and take the muster action. So what are the different actions? Well, travel is pretty self-explanatory. Travel moves one guy, one space for every action you do. Muster, I mentioned before, is flipping these over, giving you extra to attack. You're basically earning friends. Each of these tiles has a number on it. That's how much power you have to muster to flip it over. You also notice there's a flag. That's how many victory points you earn. That's how the game ends. Depending on the number of players, you put a number of victory points. I'll be the first player, and if at any time during a turn we run out of the giant pile of victory points, we're gonna finish off the turns and play ends. So if I get my point when I'm mustering, I flip them over. That gives me a bonus to attack. Crusade is your attack action. When I'm in a space with another token, not another player, we don't fight each other in this game, I look at the attack strength of the three different other factions. The Prussians and the Slavs, whenever I defeat them, they get better. They start at 3, and they keep getting better and better learning from you. This is also how many victory points you get from beating them. The Crusaders, they are always attack strength 6. You can either get 3 victory points, or, as you see, they give you a free action off your board. So they're a twofer. So we've traveled, we've mustered, we've crusaded. Influence is just straight victory points. Move these around and get that many victory points. The other action you'll spend a lot of your time doing is building. Building is how you get these off of your player board. I have an empty player board over here. When I take that action, spending an amount of tokens, I put something off of my player board onto a free space in the board. This is why these are so important in these start spaces. They give you cheaper build actions or give you victory points, or both. This is the 2-player variant, so you'll see some spaces have both. So you can get multiple bonuses if you build in one spot. But as you build castles, you free up other dudes to go out and attack. As you build churches, you build influence. So whenever you take the influence action, you get extra points. Whenever you take the muster action, you get bonus muster. And as you build banks, all your build actions become cheaper because you get extra build. So uncovering these builds an engine for you. The third spot, because you're so awesome, gets you extra influence, or in the case of the castle or building churches, extra attack or extra travel. The fourth spot always gets you some end game bonus. But otherwise in your turn, you either choose an action or you can flip over one action for its double-sided effect. At the bottom of every regular action, it will show what it'll flip over to. It's very faint, but you can look at them at a glance. In addition, if you have completely messed up, you can redistribute all your stuff. Do not do that if you can avoid it, because if you do, you've just wasted a turn. But after we go through and get all the victory points, we try to build the greatest empire across Europe as the Templars. We go to the end, and the player who has killed the most Prussians, the second most Prussians, Crusaders and the second most Crusaders, or the Slavs and the second most Slavs, gets extra victory points. You then look at your endgame extra bonuses, and the player with the most influence is the best faction of Templars. Alright, so we've looked at what's in the game, we've looked at how to play a game. What do I think? Well, mechanics, it's pretty simple. It plays pretty quick. It says like 60 minutes on the box, and honestly, once you know what you're doing, it is 60 minutes. It's just not the deepest game you're going to play. It's a solid mid-weight Euro. There's some variability, where the tiles go, where all the things go. That's great. I think it's going to run out of variability after a little bit. But I hear there's expansion coming, so I'm looking forward to those. So I give it a 4.75 out of 5. Solid, pretty good stuff. In terms of theme, you fight other people, which is great. So it's a Euro game. We're not fighting each other. You know, most of the fighting, I thought what the Templars did was more in the Middle East. Maybe it's just my uneducation. So I give it like a 4.5 out of 5. The fact that they do take over banking across Europe is amazing. So that kind of level, I like it. Rules, solid 5 out of 5. 10 minutes you're playing this game, and it's a deep game for just getting 10 minutes in. Execution, this is the fancy version. It's $100 if you buy it at the con. I got it for less than that because of the luxified nature of the Kickstarter. You know, chunky pieces, pressure molded plastics, these fancy gold things, you know, screen printing things. I only had to put on stickers on half the stuff. Good job, Tasty Minstrel. That said, you know, what about the regular version? Because, you know, that's when you're going to find most often in stores. And it's still pretty good, too. It doesn't have the fancy. But then again, you're also not paying $100 at a con. So 5 out of 5. Overall, 96%, solid game, well worth your time to get. If you want an hour-long Euro, even with setup, this is a great game. Good job, Tasty Minstrel. I'm Ed from Throat Punch Games, at Throat Punch G on Twitter, Throat Punch Games on Facebook and Instagram. Like and subscribe for the content and contests. Thanks for watching.